Wave 2 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC has dropped, and with it we've got some classic tunes and a new one to go along with it as well. We've got a good mix of the old and the new, going as far back as the Nintendo 64 and as recently as Mario Kart Tour. Naturally, with this comes some tweaking in terms of the music to bring it up to date. Some of the changes were more subtle, while others were complete revamps from the ground up. In this video, we'll take a look at what changes have been made and how the DLC fits as a whole in the series. If you're a composer yourself and have always wanted to write music in the style of the classic and modern Mario games, I've got you covered. I've got a free guide that goes over the exact devices that composers for Nintendo and Disney use to make their scores sound so magical and memorable, in hopes that you can take these techniques and use them for your own productions and arrangements as well. You can download it right now using the first link in the description box below, and it's my gift to you for watching this video today. Without further ado, let's jump on in. Starting things off with a Turnip Cup, we've got Tour's New York Minute. The theming and setting of this track is beautiful, with plenty of shops and events all around you while you travel through the streets of New York. Accordingly, this music is upbeat, fun, and jazzy, featuring a trumpet and trombone section interacting with one another, while the rhythm section of the piano, drums, and bass set up the foundation. We also get a clarinet, a very common instrument in jazz ensembles, and it's a delight to hear the warm and flexible timbre of the instrument while the performer plays in a more improvisatory nature and with excitement. Tour's version is created entirely from MIDI, so all the instruments have a slightly synthetic sound to them. The clarinet sounds a little plasticky, the brass is a bit nasally and overly bright, and the rhythm section doesn't quite have the same attitude as live players. However, it definitely gets the mood across. Deluxe's version ports everything over to live players, and it makes a world of difference. The swing is more pronounced, the lines are smoother and more connected, and you can just feel the musicians having a blast the whole time. Overall, there's not much difference in any of the arrangement itself, but the fact that we have live musicians this time around takes it from mock-up to realization beautifully. SNES Mario Circuit 3 is nostalgic to say the least, and I think Nintendo really wanted to pay its respects to the tunes, so interestingly they didn't change that much here. The biggest addition was the drum kit and a more hyped mix overall. The original is warmer and fuller, so we really feel comforted and super familiar with the theme. When you contrast that directly with Deluxe's version, again it's more hyped, contains the live drums, and you can tell that they were going for a more high energy approach. It's definitely refreshing to hear this theme with some tweaks, but the original still wins it for me. Moving on to 64's Kalimari Desert, the primary lead here is comprised of the keys and synth, with the shakers, drums, and bass going on in the background. It's a relatively simplistic arrangement, allowing the melody and the harmony to shine and create that Western atmosphere. Deluxe adds the live musicians, of course, with mariachi-style trumpets, Spanish guitars, and electric keys performing the leads, groovy drums, and woodwinds for the full treatment. I really like the mix on this. It's perfectly panned, balanced, and you can hear everything super clearly. I'd say Deluxe has the edge in this one, really taking it up a notch from the original. Nothing too much to say about Waluigi Pinball, because while the track itself looks fantastic, the music essentially sounds the same as Wario Stadium, which was in the base game anyway. I do like the electronic and funky nature of the theme, and there's a reason why it's been used and remixed in so many Mario games. Very similar story here with Mushroom Gorge, as the main difference between the Wii and the Deluxe versions is that the Deluxe version has a more hyped mix. There's some extra guitar and synth in there, and the drums don't thump as hard as the Wii. A lot of the low end has been removed, which I don't personally like that much, but to each their own. But again, the track itself looks amazing, and the world records are already optimizing the tracks like crazy. Let's dive into the Propeller Cup, starting with Tour's Sydney Sprint. In a very similar manner to New York Minute, Tour's version is made entirely with virtual instruments, so while there's a charm and nostalgic feeling here, Deluxe's treatment swaps them all out for the live players, including a full brass section, solo sax, electric guitars and bass, drums, and more. Let's have a quick comparison, starting with Tours, then Deluxe. The sax especially is so difficult to get right when it comes to samples, so it really was a no-brainer to transition over to the live musicians and simply witness the results. Now it actually breathes, has attitude, and contains that excitement that deservedly suits the course. Let's move on to GBA Snow Land, which is a super charming tune that got a complete makeover. I love the arrangement of the original with its mono synths and leads and hard pan percussion. They've also added in a mono sleigh bell for the Christmassy feel that's tucked in behind the rest of the arrangement. It's short, it's sweet, and it's incredibly nostalgic if you grew up with Super Circuit. Deluxe somehow retains the charm of the original, yet spruces it up with a live treatment and additional response lines in the woodwinds. The lead is covered by the piano accordion, with trombone and woodwinds playing on the 2 and the 4 to establish the groove. We've also got tambourine, sleigh drums, and jazz drums completing the rhythm section. When the theme repeats, the flutes and the trombones perform additional counter melodies and runs to fill up the texture and flesh out the arrangement beautifully. I can honestly say that this piece and arrangement is probably my favorite in the whole pack. To me, it literally went from 0 to hero. Finally, we've got Sky High Sundae. This is a classic Mario Kart 8 piece of music right here. It actually really reminds me of 2 tracks in the game, the intro theme and Super Bell Subway, with a slapping electric bass and crazy drums setting up the foundation, and frantic strings and piano occupying the top end. The string melody is comprised of relatively short notes, adding to the excitement of being high up in the air. I think this is what you'd hear when you're on an insane sugar rush. Overall, this DLC added some fantastic material to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I'm impressed as usual with how many of the arrangements sound so good with live musicians compared to their MIDI counterparts. It shows that Nintendo really takes the time to get their music right, as they realize its importance in the gaming experience and they take advantage of the fact that their current technology can host these soundtracks. Out of all the tracks, I'd have to say my favorites are Sydney Sprint and Snow Land in terms of the music, but I'd love to hear your picks as well. Which courses and music are your favorites? Let me know in the comments below. And again, if you want to write catchy, memorable music just like this, we need to understand the basics behind what these composers are actually doing to create this sense of beauty, adventure, and magic in their scores. This guide I'm sharing with you breaks down these core components used in every song and piece that they write, and by the end you'll have a great idea of how you can use these specific techniques for your own compositions as well. You can grab it using the first link in the description box below, and again it's my gift to you for checking out this video today. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next wave. Take care.